Hello students, welcome back. So today we'll be doing a chapter on conditional statements in Python. But before we start or move on with this chapter, I would request all of you to please go and watch my previous video on introduction to Python. That will give you a basic overview on Python, and then we can start off with this conditional statements. Sure. Okay, so let's begin on conditional statements. Now, conditional statements, what do you understand by that? Conditional statement, that means there is some conditions involved, right? Like for example, I can give you like based on certain condition you do something. Like suppose if it is a sunny day, then I'll go out and play. If it's a rainy day, I'll not go out and play. I'll stay at home and do something, right? So based on certain conditions, you do a task, right? So that is basically the conditional statements that we'll be doing in Python. Clear? Like see here in your book, there is an example given. If you can see, like based on the age, the ticket price is being calculated. Like if your age is less than 18, the price will be different. If it's greater than 18, the price will be different. So based on the, see, this is a flow chart that is being given here for a conditional statement. Like here, in a flow chart we always start, then input age, then it's checking. Here the condition is there, right? See, it's checking if the age is greater than equal to 18. If it's yes, then it is again checking one more condition. Do you work in a government office? If you're yes, then the ticket price will be 100. But suppose your age is greater than 18, but you do not work in a government office, that means this condition satisfy. You come here and your ticket price will be 200. But now suppose if your age is not greater than 18, it is less than 18, so this condition satisfy, correct? Now here again another condition is here where it is there checking if you are below 10 or above 10. So accordingly, if you are below 10, then your ticket price will be this. If you are above 10, your ticket price will be this, right? So based on different conditions, different steps are being followed. So that is basically the conditions that we apply to do a certain task. So we'll understand this, how we apply the same in Python programming. Clear? Okay, now let's start with relational operators, which is very much used when we check any conditions in a program. Okay, now in my previous video on introduction to Python, we have understood what operators are. Operators are basically when we do an operation on two values like summation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, right? So those were the operators. Now what are relational operators? Relational, since these are operators, so it's between two values, right? Two variables. So relational operators are basically the comparison operator, where we comparison between two variables or two values. Okay, where we compare two values or two variables, whatever it may be. Okay, so what are the different relational operators? Like how do you compare whether one value is equal to another value, or maybe one value is greater than another, or if it's less than, like this. So these are the relational operators that we have in Python. One is equal to, double equal to sign, which is we use for checking whether one value is equal to another value. Now this exclamation mark equal to, this is for not equal to. Like if you have to check whether A is not equal to B, this condition if you have to check, we use this. Then this is less than, which is very much similar to your mathematical symbol. Less than equal to is this is greater than, and this is greater than equal to. Okay, if you want to understand if a value is greater than equal to a particular value, so then we use this. So the output of all this relation will be either true or false, right? If you're comparing two values based on this operation, the output will be either yes or no, or true or false, right? Like suppose if A is greater than B or A is less than equal to B, it will be either yes or no, either true or false, right? So it will be either true or false. The output of a relational operators will always be either true or false. Clear? Now let's try to see some of the examples of relational operators. Okay. So see here you have now suppose here you have A as 10 and B as 8 as it is written here, A 10, B 8. Okay, so based on that, let's try to understand this example that is given here. Okay, so you have A as 10 and B as 8. Okay, now if you in your condition in your program, if you write A equal to B, means whether A is equal to B, so is 10 equal to 8? No, it's not, right? Okay, now here see if it's A equal to B, is 10 is equal to 8? No, it's not, right? So the result will be false. Now if I do this comparison, A, this exclamation mark equal to, I said this means not equal to here, so computer will understand, is A not equal to B? Yes, 10 is not equal to 8, correct? So the answer will be true. So let's try to write the same here. See, I have this Python program open. So I have written A is equal to 10, B is equal to 8. We define the same value what is there in your book. Now I am saying print A is equal to B. So what will it print? It will print either true or false based on this condition. Okay, so here A is not equal to B, correct? So let me just run and see what it prints. See, it print false, correct? Now suppose if I make this B also 10. Now let me save and run and see what it now. Sorry. Now see here A is equal to B, right? Because both are 10. Now let me run and see whether it will print. See, it print true. Okay, so based on whatever you give, so equal to is being used for checking equal to. Now let me just put this 8 again. Okay, now suppose here A exclamation mark equal to B. Let me just check this. This also you can check, A not equal to B, and this is true. A is not equal to B, right? So if I save it and run it, it will come as true because A is not equal to B. See, it came as true. False it came for the first one and true it is coming for the second one, correct? Now if I make this as 10, you will see this statement will come as false because now A is equal to B. It's not equal to. So now if I run, see, this is coming as false. Clear? I hope this is clear, right? And the same thing you can do it in this script mode, in this interactive mode also. I was doing in script mode. See, in your book it's written in script mode. So if I specify here A is equal to 10, B is equal to 8, and then if I write A greater than B, what should it come? A is greater than B, right? So it will come as true. See, true is been printed. If I write A less than B, true again. Sorry, A greater than, I have wrote A less than B, that will come as false, correct? A equal to B, A greater than equal to B, is it? It is greater than, so it will come true, right? Clear? So I hope these relational operators are clear to you, correct? And remember one thing, students, I have been telling this, Python is case sensitive. So if it is sunflower all in small and sunflower where S is capital, these two will not be same. When you are comparing these two, it will never come same because Python is case sensitive. So uppercase it will consider as uppercase only to be equal. So this sunflower and this sunflowers are not equal, okay? Because the cases are different. This is uppercase, okay? Now we can do this comparison. So till now we saw the comparison between values, like, but now we can also have comparison using string values, okay? Strings also you can compare, okay? Like here, see, for example, it's given X is equal to morning, Y is equal to 9. So is X is equal to Y? False. No, it's not equal to X, not equal to Y. True. If I make this morning, it will come morning. So let's see with an example here. Now let me just specify maybe A is equal to morning and B I give it as evening, maybe anything that you want. Evening, spelling wrong. Okay, so and then if I write A equal to B, see, false. It's not equal to, right? If I write A not equal to B, yes, A is not equal, then it will come as true, right? Now if I make this also, now let me just make A is equal to morning and B is equal to morning again. Now here see, A and B both are equal, so if I give A equal to B, it will come true, right? But now here see, guys, if I change B to small morning, see, I mean I'm making this M as small, okay? Now when I write A equal to B, it will give me false. See, A is this with a capital M and here M is small, so they will not consider this as same because Python is case sensitive, as I have been telling you again and again and again. Okay, and one more thing, very important thing to note here, see, when you put double equal to, that means you are comparing two values, okay? But when you give equal to, this is an assignment operator. Means see here, if I write A equal to 2, like in my here, if I write B equal to morning, that means I'm assigning morning to B. I'm not comparing here B with morning. But if I write A equal to, double equal to, if I give, that means it becomes my relational operator, means I'm comparing something. Clear, right? You cannot specify A equal to morning, okay? You cannot do that, okay? A equal to, see here, this is comparing and giving you the answer, right? A is not equal to morning, right? Because your A set is morning here, right? So this is comparison, and here if I write just A is equal to morning, that means I'm setting the value of A as morning. You got the difference? See, when I wrote double equal to morning, it gave me false because it compared and gave me the answer. But when I just wrote single equal to, it is assigning morning to A. Clear? I hope I make myself very clear, right? So remember this, single equal to is an assignment operator. Single equal to is your assignment operator. Double equal to is your relational operator. Clear? Good. Okay, student, now since relational operators are clear to us, where we compare two values or two variables, now let's try to understand logical operators. Now what are logical operators? So logical operators are used when we have to check for multiple conditions. Like in relational operator, we were checking a one condition, like A is equal to B, or A less than B, or A greater than B, right? It was a one condition we were checking. But if you want to have two conditions, suppose I want to check if A is greater than B and maybe B is greater than C also. Like if I want to have 2-3 conditions, like here for example it's given I'll go to market if it is sunny, so this is one condition. If the weather is sunny and my car is also available, so there are two conditions here. Okay, I'll go to market if these two conditions satisfy. One is the weather is sunny, another the car is available, right? So there are two conditions. So when you have two conditions or more than two conditions, multiple conditions, then we use the logical operator. So in Python we have, in Python or in general programming language, we have these three logical operators. And means when we have to satisfy all the conditions. Okay, so if we put an AND condition between two, if we put an AND operator between two conditions, that means both the condition needs to be satisfied for the value to be true. Like here, I will go to market if it is sunny and the car is available. Like both the conditions should satisfy, then you will go to market. Then the value will be true. So AND is when both the conditions should satisfy. And if any one of the condition is not satisfying, means suppose it's raining and car is available, but it's rainy, then this condition becomes, then this entire statement becomes false. Okay. So and where both the conditions should satisfy. In or any one of the conditions should satisfy. Like, see, I will read the storybook if either I have done my homework or tomorrow is a holiday. So it's not necessary both the conditions should satisfy. You have done your homework and tomorrow is a holiday. If any one of the conditions satisfy, your entire statement becomes true. Okay, so the OR operator gives true value only if both or either of the two condition is true. But AND operator gives a true value if both conditions are true. So clear difference between and OR? Means AND means both the conditions should satisfy, OR means any one can satisfy. And NOT means just the opposite. I will read the book if it is based on any topic other than war. Means if topic is not war, then this condition satisfy. So the NOT operator gives a true value if condition is false. Means if condition does not satisfy, then your NOT will give you a true value. Clear these three operators? And, OR and NOT. And both the conditions should satisfy, or any one should satisfy, any NOT, the condition should not satisfy basically. Okay, now in Python 0 is considered as false and any other numeric value is considered as true value. So 0 is always a false in Python. So not 0, if you write not 0, it gives the result as true. Not 0 means, as I said, 0 in Python means false. So not 0 means opposite of that. So opposite of false, it will result as true. And not 1 will result as false. This is very important, students. Please make a note. In exam, you might get questions on this. Like in Python, 0 we consider as false and any other value apart from 0 is true. So if you write not 0 means 0 is false. So not means opposite of false will be true then. And if you give not 1, 1 means true and not 1 means it will give false. Clear? Now for your information, this paragraph, please have a note. Like Python, we have another programming language that is widely used in the AI field, artificial, is R. R is another programming and it was created by Ross Ihaka and Robert Gentleman at the University of Auckland. Clear? So this is just for your knowledge. Please remember that like Python, we have another programming language, R, which is widely used in the field of artificial intelligence and it was created by Ross Ihaka and Robert Gentleman at the University of Auckland. Clear? Okay, now let's move on. Now see, using a logical, we'll see some of the examples here now. Okay. Now see, if I write age greater than 10 and sports equal to, now suppose if you have age as 12 and sports specified as cricket. Okay. So let's see you have age as 12 and sports as cricket. So if you give this condition, age greater than 10 and sports equal to football, and means both conditions should satisfy, as I told you. But here age is 10, so that condition satisfy. But sports equal to football. Is sport equal to football? No, it's sport equal to cricket. So this entire statement becomes false. Why? Because in end both the conditions should satisfy. If there was an OR here, then this would have become true because any one condition should satisfy. Now suppose same here, age greater than 10 or sports equal to football, this will return true. Why? Because one condition is satisfied. Clear? Now, not sports equal to cricket. This will return false. Why? Because sports is cricket. Not means anything else than cricket. But no, it is cricket, so it will return as false. But if I write not sports equal to football, then it will return true. Clear? Okay, now let's see this example. Very simple. Here subject is English, fee is 2000, num is 100. Okay, so if subject not equal to Hindi, what will be the result? True, it will be true, right? Because subject is not equal to Hindi, subject is English. So it will be true. Now fee plus 100 means 2000 plus 100, which is 2100. Is this less than equal to 3000? True again, right? 2100 is less than 3000. Now num into 2, num means 100. 100 into 2 means 200. Is 200 equal to fee divided by 10? Fee is 2000 divided by 10 will be 200. So here this also becomes 200 and this also becomes 200. So this expression is again true. So it will be true, correct? Now subject equal to English, which is true, right? And fee equal to 2000, this is again true, and it's an and, so both the conditions are true. That means this statement is true. Now num is equal to 200. No, num is 100, so this condition does not satisfy, correct? Or fee not equal to 1000, this condition satisfy. Fee is 2000, so fee is not equal to 1000, so this condition is satisfied. So again, and since it's an or means any one condition should satisfy, so this return as true again. So all these statements are true. Clear? Now let's try to quickly understand this. Python is widely used in the field of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And you know what is artificial intelligence? AI is a branch of computer science that enables a computer to think and take decisions like a human being. AI, which is very popular nowadays. So AI is basically, it makes computer similar to human being, like the way they can think and they can take decisions on their own. Okay, now we'll move on to conditional statements. So now let's try to understand conditional statements. Okay, in Python. So we have understood the operators, the relational operators and the logical operators. Now how to apply those operators in a conditions and what is a statement required in Python to do that, we'll try to understand that. Okay, now the first is the if statement. So see, if statement is like when you want to check a condition. If condition satisfied, do something. If it does not satisfy, do something else, right? So we use if statement in to check for a condition. Okay, there can be two outputs for this. If condition is true, you do something. If condition is false, you do something else, correct? So let's try to write a simple program in Python. Okay, so let's write a program on this if statement. So we'll see this first program only from your book. So it's here written, write a program that takes age from user and displays the message you are an adult and have the right to cast to vote if the age is greater than or equal to 18. So what is the question, what is the program? So we just have to write a simple program where we will take input from the user. See what is their age. So if their age is greater than or equal to 18, we have to print the message you are an adult and you have right to cast vote. So let's try to write that. So we need an input. Okay, so if you remember the input statement, so we will have age and it has to be an integer type, right? So input your age. Okay, your age. Okay. Now we have to check if. So see the syntax of writing if statement. If age greater than equal to, it was written. So see here we are using the relational operator. If age greater than equal to 18 and we put a colon. Remember in Python we put a colon for the conditional statement. If age greater than equal to 18, print. Can you see your cursor came here? Under if, whatever statement comes, that is indented. Okay, so print you are an adult and have right to cast vote. Clear? Now let's save and try and run how it works. So here, okay, let me just close this. Okay, let me run again. Okay, your age. Now suppose I give my age as 23. So see, you are an adult and have right to cast. Clear? Now let me just run again and I give age less than 18. Suppose I give age as 17. It is less than, right? See, here we have just specified if age is greater than 18, then what we need to do. But when age is less than 18, what we have to do, we are not specified. So here nothing will happen, right? But don't you think in program we need to have something like if age is this, then this, else something else, right? So now that comes to our next topic. So I hope if is clear. If just student just see how we write if the conditions you specify and then a colon is very important and then whatever you want to put in the print, a print or whatever you want to do. Okay. Now see, if then I said there has to be an else, like if my age was less than 18, what am I supposed to do? So that condition should also be there, right? If age is greater than 18, then you print this, else you print something else, correct? So that comes to our second topic is if else statement. We have an if else statement. Okay, what does this mean? If this, then you do this, else something else. So here same example, if we follow the same example here, if age is greater than 18, then you print this, else again a semicolon, enter, again it will come in indented form, else you print you are not an adult and cannot cast vote. Now see, this entire program now makes sense. So whatever age value I enter, it will either fall in this category or in this category. Clear? Save. Now let me run and check. Now see, if I give my age greater than 18, it will give me you are an adult and right to cast vote. But let me just run this again. But if I give my age less than 18, 16, see, you are not an adult and cannot cast vote. Clear now? Now let me just check for this greater than equal to. So if I give 18, which condition will it satisfy? This one or else one? This one, correct? Because it is greater than equal to 18. So it will satisfy this one only. Now see, if I give enter, you are an adult, you are right. So student, is it clear? It's very simple, the conditional statement if else. If condition satisfies, do something else, do something else. Clear? I hope we'll do more programs, it will be more clear to you. No? Let's see the third program. Write a program to check the answer entered by user. Answer entered by user. Maybe suppose we have a question asked to user, and if they answer correct, we'll say you guessed it right. If they answer incorrect, we'll say it's a wrong answer, right? So it's very simple. So what you need to do, you have to first enter. First you have to enter there the question that you have, right? Okay, so I've just commented out this. Now let us write a fresh program. So here I just want to enter any question I have to answer. Okay, so in a variable I'll take something. Let me just take a variable as maybe b. P is equal to, I have to answer something, right? Input. So capital capital of West Bengal maybe. Okay. Okay. Now I have to check if B equal to Kolkata. If B is equal to Kolkata, then print your answer is correct. If it is not, else print your answer is incorrect. Now let's try to save and run it. Capital of West Bengal, right? So suppose I write Kolkata. I give a correct answer. See, your answer is correct. Now suppose if I give an incorrect answer, maybe Delhi. See, your answer is incorrect. Very simple program, right? Clear? Now let's move on to program 4. So write a program to display the area or perimeter of the square depending upon the choice entered by the user. Very nice, right? So here we have to print the area or the perimeter of the square depending on the choice entered by, like whether user want the area or the perimeter. So here we need two inputs. One, because we have to calculate area or perimeter, then we need the side of the square, right? So here you see the first line, they have entered side, so it should be an integer type, correct? So first should be side, which is an integer type. So input, enter the side of the square. This should be my first input. Second, I want to know the choice, whether they want to have area or perimeter, right? So choice, again I took it as integer. You can take it as of string also. Like here they have written enter 1 to find area, any other number to find perimeter. Okay, so they have taken the choice in the form of integer, but you can take it in a form of a string also, like enter area or perimeter. Okay, then here if choice, so now they are checking if choice is equal to 1, that means they have entered 1 for area. That means you have to print area. So print area. How will it be printed? With whatever, remember my previous video, whatever you write within double quotes come as it is. So area is equal to side into side, right? Else print perimeter 4 into side, right? Clear? Okay, now let's move on. Okay, now let's move on. So here we have a program. See, write a program to accept the percentage from the user and display a message according to the following condition. If percentage is greater than equal to 80, good performance. If it is less than 80, it should be work hard. So this is very simple, students. You just need to have input. You have to input the percentage and check if percentage, suppose you enter in any variable a, suppose. So if a is greater than equal to 80, print good performance, else print work hard. That's a very simple program, right? Try writing it and let me know in comments if you face any problem. Okay. Okay students, so we now come to our last topic, which is if else statement. Okay, so we have seen if and else statement where we are checking two conditions basically. If this satisfy, then this, else this, right? But suppose there might be some situation where we want to have more than one condition check, right? Like for example, see this example given in your book, okay? Like if mother gives me more than 100, I'll buy a cake. If she gives me money less than 100 but more than 10, I'll buy a chocolate. Else I'll buy a candy. So there are three conditions. Here I cannot do with if else, right? If money greater than 100, buy cake, else buy candy or chocolate. But there is another one condition that I need to check. If money is less than 100 but greater than 10, then I have to buy a chocolate, then candy. So how will it come here? If, so here we need multiple conditions. So how we do? If money greater than 100, then buy a cake. Else, if money greater than 10, see if it has come to this statement, means it didn't went to this one, so means money less than 100 also, then buy a chocolate, else buy a candy, right? So there are multiple conditions we are checking here. So this we do with using if statement. Okay, now let's just see. So here else if, instead of else if, we use elif. That is the statement. Okay, now see here, write a program to decide the product to be purchased depending upon the money entered by the user. Okay, so for this same program, if this same condition, if we have to write a program, how do we write? It should be here. So first I have to enter money, which is an integer data type. Input, enter the money received. If money greater than 100, print buy a cake. If Elif, we check. Elif, money greater than 10, then buy a chocolate. Else, finally, if nothing of this, then buy a candy. So see, here we are checking multiple conditions. So in multiple condition check, we use Elif in Python. Clear? We'll write one program also, then it will be more clear. Let's see some of your, if we have any program here. See team, this all you can do, I think, like print 12 equal to 21. What should be the answer output? 12 is not equal to 21, right? So it will be false. 12. Now print 10 equal to 10. That's true, right? Now Jupiter not equal to Mars. True. This will also be true. Print Venus not equal to Venus. This will be false. Venus is equal to Venus. Print true and true. This will be true because and means both should be true, correct? And false and true. This should be false, right? Because in and condition, if you remember, both should be true, right? Or any one should be true. So this is correct. This will be true. But this false. Both conditions are false. Then it will be false here, right? Print not true. Not true means false. We have to print, right? Is it clear, students, what I am saying? See, this will be 12 equal to this false. It is not equal to, right? 10 equal to true. Mars, Jupiter not, this is true, correct? Venus not equal to, this will be false. It is equal to, right? So it will be false. True and true. In and both the conditions should be true. So this is again true. In and one is false, one is true, which is wrong, right? In and both the conditions should be true. So this will be false. Now in or one condition is true, one is false. So it's possible, right? In or we have to have that only. So this will be true. Now here false or false. So in or both the conditions are false. So that is not possible. That is not possible. So it will be false here. Now here not true. Not true means opposite of true. So it will be false. Now here Mercury equal to Venus. No, this condition is false, right? This condition is false. What about this 99 not equal to 88? This condition is true. So here you see one condition is false, one is true, and you have an or in the middle. That means any one condition should be true. So that means this should be true. Clear? I hope this is clear, right? Now let's move on. Let's move on to see some programs, okay? Let's see if we can write one of them. See, the first program is two classes have collected funds for an organization that helps street children, okay? Class A has 48 students. Each child in class A has paid 50. Class B has 55 students and each child in class B has paid 45. Write a program to find out which class has collected more funds. So very simple, you already have, you don't have to input anything here, everything is given. So it's simple, your program will be, I'll just delete it. So your, let me take students underscore A equal to 48, which is already given, right? And paid underscore A. So per student is paying 50 rupees in section A, right? Similarly, let me take for students underscore B section. What is the total students? It is 55. And paid per student is 45, right? So I have to find who has collected more funds. So I have to do multiplication, right? One student is paying 50, so 48 students will have. So total underscore A for section A, total will be students underscore A into paid underscore A, correct? Same for section B also, correct? So let me just write for section B. Now here I have to check whose is greater, A is greater or B greater. So I'll check if total underscore A greater than total underscore B. Print section A collected more funds. Correct? Else print section B collected more funds. Clear? Did you get this program? So see, all these values are given to us. Number of students in section A and money paid per student in section A. Again in section B we have the same data. Now total funds collected in section A will be number of students into per person what they are paid, right? Per student. Now in section B also number of students into per student what they paid, right? Now I'll just check if total A is greater than total B, means section A collected more funds, right? Here write a program to find out which class has collected more funds, right? So if A is greater than B, that means this will be more, right? Now let me just save and run this program. There is something missing. Yeah, okay. I forgot, so it should be not like this. Yeah, and there was a syntax error, right? Okay, so now let me just save and run. So see, section B collected more funds, right? Because if you multiply 55 by 45, the answer will be greater than multiplication of 48 by 50. Clear? So this program is clear, I hope, right? Now let me see. Now the second next program is write a program to accept length and breadth of a rectangle from the user. So we will accept length and breadth. Two inputs we have to accept, right? Now display the area of the rectangle if the choice entered by the user is 1. Otherwise display the perimeter. So very simple. Now we have the third input where we have to ask user ka choice. If they enter 1, I have to display area. If they enter 2, anything else than 1, I have to display perimeter. So very simple. What I so so I have commented out the previous program. Now let us write. So here we have three inputs. One is length. That should be an integer type, correct? It's a length. So write input length of the rectangle. Correct. Now I have to enter the breadth, so it will be again integer type, so I'll have breadth of the enter, it will be better, enter length of the rectangle. Now here it can be enter breadth of the rectangle, right? Now I have third input, which is enter the choice, right? So maybe choice, I take the variable choice is equal to, it should be integer again, input enter 1 for area and any other value for perimeter, correct? Clear? So these are the three inputs. Now I have to check if choice equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, I have to print area, correct? So print area is equal to will be length into breadth, correct? If else what I have to do? Else I have to print perimeter, right? If the choice is not 1, perimeter is 2 into length plus breadth, correct? Clear? Now let's see, let's save it and try to run it. So I forgot a comma somewhere. Let me just check where it is. Okay students, so here what I forgot, see there is an closing bracket I forgot here. Similarly here also I forgot, so there is a closing bracket is what I forgot. Okay, so let me just save and run again and see. Okay, perfect. Enter the length of the rectangle. So maybe I enter 6, breadth maybe 4. Now enter 1 for area and enter any other value for perimeter. Now suppose if I want, if I enter any other value 3 maybe, that means I want perimeter. So see, perimeter is 20. It will give me perimeter is 20. Clear? If I enter 1, it would have given me, if I run it again, if you see, 6, 4, choice I enter, so area is 24. Clear? Is this program clear, students? Very simple, just length I'm entering, which is an integer type, right? So it has to be in this way. Then breadth, integer type again. Then the choice I will enter. If it then I check if choice is 1, then print area. So whatever, remember in my last video I told you, whatever I enter within double quotes, it should come as it is. So that is coming as it is. Plus this with a comma, then I gave this is a variable name, right? This is all in my previous video, you can find it out, introduction to Python. So this is a variable, so this into this, whatever be the value, it gives me here. Similarly in else too. Clear? I hope this is clear. So similarly you have more program, just go over and try doing this. If you face any problem, just let me know. In the comment section, let me know if you want me to write any of the program. Okay. Okay students, let's try to write one program, this one. Okay, so that you understand the complete chapter very nicely. Okay, so a shopping mall offers the following discount to the customers: more than or equal to this. If your bill amount is more than 5,000 but less than 10,000, then your discount will be this on the total bill amount. Okay, but if your bill amount is more than 10,000 but less than 15,000, this is the discount, and if it's more than 15,000, this is the discount. So we have to write a program to take the bill amount from the user. So my input will be the bill amount, correct? And then display the resultant amount to be paid by the customer. Means after discount, what should? So here, what you have to see, you have to have input the bill amount. Then I have to check if the bill amount for all these 3 conditions. If yes, then my discount will be this, and then finally I'll put the result. So how do we start off? So the first thing I have to enter the, let me keep it here so that we see the question and then we write. Okay. Okay. So I have to input. The first thing I have to take the bill amount, right? So let me take the variable bill amount is equal to, it will be an integer type, right? Input, enter the bill amount. Okay, I'm asking the user to enter the bill amount. Now I will check here now if bill underscore amount is equal, if bill amount is more than or equal to, if it is greater than equal to 5,000 but less than this, so it is an AND condition, and bill underscore amount less than 10,000, then so I have to put a colon, right? Then my discount is equal to 500, correct? Else, so instead of else it will be if bill amount, now the second condition, if it is greater than equal to 10,000 and bill underscore amount less than 15,000, then my discount will be equal to 750. Clear? Else my discount will be equal to 1000. Clear? Is this clear till here? Very simple. So I have just input bill amount and these three conditions I am checking and then putting the discount. Now finally I have to print the final amount. So final amount will be print your final bill amount is equal to, what should be my final bill amount? See the syntax, students, very important. Print, bracket, then in double quotes whatever I write it will come as it is, correct? Then a comma and then whatever I want to calculate. So it will be, what will be the final bill amount? Whatever was the amount entered, which, sorry, this was the amount I entered, correct? Minus the discounted amount. So based on the condition, the discount value I am setting, correct? So it will be DIS, correct? Now let me save and run this program and see how it goes. Now enter the bill amount. Suppose I enter within this range, 10,000 to 15,000. If I enter 12,000, if I enter 12,000, my discount is 750. So it will be, so my final bill amount will be 12,000 minus 750, which will come as this much. Clear? Similarly, you can check for other conditions also. But now first tell me, is this code clear to you? First, I have entered the bill amount from the user and stored it in this variable, right? Now I am checking this bill amount, which is this variable. If this is greater than this and this is greater than, less than this, if it is, then I am setting discount as 500. Discount, this I have taken another variable and I have just put the value in there, discount value. Similarly, I am checking the second condition ki L, if bill amount is greater than and it is less than this, then my discount, I will set the same variable, I will set the discount to 750. Else, when both these conditions are not satisfying, that means my amount is greater than 15,000, so my discount will be 1000. Then finally I am printing your final bill amount is whatever was the initial bill amount, which is this, minus discount. Is it clear? I hope it should be clear. And if you have any problem in any other programs, please do comment and let me know. I'll try and put up a video on that, or maybe I reply to that. Thank you. Please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you all.